What's up, guys? It's Kyle with Safe Home Offer. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the question, what costs are involved with selling my house to an investor? So I just kind of listed out some costs that you might see with selling a house. And these are typically costs that you would see when you sell the traditional route using a realtor. So the realtor would walk through your house and recommend a price that you would list it at, and then they would recommend that you probably stage it, and then they would list it, and then you have all these showings, and you might get some offers, you might not, and then you close with the agent. So let's just talk about the costs that you would have with an agent, and then for each cost, I'll let you know how you can save money on that cost if you sell through an investor. So the first one is holding costs, and a lot of people don't really think about this, but so let's say you list it with a real estate agent, they get that listing up, and it's listed for a month and you still don't have any offers. And it's listed for another month, and let's say you get one offer and you go back and forth, but you can't reach an agreement. And so let's say it takes 6 months to finally get that property under contract and sold. So that's 6 months worth of property taxes that you're paying, 6 months worth of property insurance, 6 months of mortgage payments to the bank, principal and interest, 6 months of utilities. So all that cost is what we call holding costs. And depending on the property, that could be thousands of dollars. And then if you sell to an investor, we would walk through and we would give you an offer, and we could tell you that we're going to close in 2 weeks. And so that cost pretty much goes down to nearly zero. But just to be conservative, I'm going to call it hundreds. So the holding cost goes from thousands to hundreds. So the next cost is going to be staging. So you might have a nice clean home and you don't need to spend any money on staging. If it's vacant, most real estate agents will recommend that you stage the property, and that could be $1,000. And if you sell to a real estate investor, we don't care if it's staged. We're really just looking at the potential of the house, so you don't have to stage it. The cost goes to zero. Okay, cleaning. So kind of similar here. A real estate agent is going to want you to clean the house. You're going to be showing it to potentially dozens of people. So that could be hundreds of dollars to clean it. If you sell it to a real estate investor, again, we don't care. We're probably going to be doing some kind of rehab project there anyways. So we don't care if it's clean. Cleaning would cost you hundreds, but again, with an investor, it's going to cost you zero. Okay, so that's everything you got to do to get the property ready to be sold. So once you get it under contract with an agent, the buyer might ask to do inspections, and they're always going to find a bunch of things that they may be good things that really do need to be fixed, or they might be stupid things. So, but they're probably going to ask you to do repairs, either do them yourself or take money off of the price, and that can cost you thousands. And if you sell to an investor, we're going to buy it as is, and most of the time we won't even do an inspection. We'll just walk through it once or twice, so that's going to cost you zero. Okay, so the next cost that we're going to talk about, so once you get to closing, you've done your repairs, so the next cost is going to be commissions. So if you sell with an agent, the commissions are going to be probably 5 or 6%. So that could be tens of thousands of dollars. Again, if you're selling it to an investor, your cost is going to be zero. It's a private sale. You're just selling it to another person. There's no real estate agents involved. All right, so it's looking pretty good so far. So the next cost, it's pretty minimal, but it's just kind of like title and miscellaneous fees that you're going to be assessed with at closing. Again, if it's a traditional sale, the seller will be responsible for some of those costs. And I'm just going to say that's $1,000 to $2,000. It kind of depends on the sale price of the house as well. And if you're selling to a real estate investor, we are typically going to be covering all those costs for you. So the cost for those items is zero. All right, so the very last thing here is transfer tax here in the state of Pennsylvania. All real estate sales are assessed a 2% transfer tax. 1% is paid by the buyer, 1% is paid by the seller. And guess what? This is exactly the same when you're dealing with an investor. The government always gets its taxes. So the cost to the seller would be 1% for transfer taxes in the state of Pennsylvania. So there you go, guys. As you can see, selling to an investor can save you a ton of those just miscellaneous, hidden, very seldom thought about costs. And I hope you guys learned something today. Hope you have a great day.